And good evening, everybody, and welcome to our second week of Swiss rounds here in the Legend of Zelda Randomizer tournament. We have an exciting 1-0 showdown between RandomEffekt and garionoldwolf. Hi, everyone. This is LOZ Cards Fan 23, along with my partner Redbird Grad. Well, I tell you what, we have got a marquee matchup for you tonight. RandomEffekt, garionoldwolf, two of the best runners in the business. I expect to see a lot of fireworks in this matchup. What do you think, Redbird?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. These are two A+ runners. They're going to be a lot of fun to see them do battle here. I don't know how much they've done, like, one-on-one or raced against each other or not, but tell you what, every time that I've run randos with them, they've always been up at the top of the list when we finish. So these guys are going to put on quite a show.
Yes, indeed. Should be a great matchup. Now, one of the things I talked about before the race started, so far, we really haven't had that really close match. We started the tournament off with a bang. We had a less than a minute difference, which was actually a race you called. But since then, we haven't had a race within 1 minute yet. So I think we have a chance here, potentially, with these two runners. We could see a very close race.
Yeah, definitely. Especially, these flags are kind of suited for that, right? They're suited for getting to 9 quickly, let your combat shine, let the decision-making cause a close race. And these guys, they're close enough together in their skill to make this within a minute, within 2 minutes, that type of thing, chasing after the girl at the very end. And they're both being in 9 at the same time. So, yeah, I expect some fireworks here, like you said, and quite a race.
5 Triforces are what we need. We are underway. We are starting in the desert here in Hyrule. They're looking for that wood sword first, and we have no Link sprites for you this time around. We've got RandomEffekt sporting the Zelda sprite, garionoldwolf with the Lionel sprite, and immediately 15 seconds, and both of our runners find the wood sword. Can you believe this start?
Yeah, that's fantastic, actually, because there's no trolliness here, right? No one's going to get their sword 10 minutes after the other person, no 15 minutes, anything like that. They both got the sword. Now it's, okay, read the seed, play as well as you can, go right now. This is great to see.
By the way, that message you just saw, what? I can't hear you, more than likely is probably the door repair message. You're going to see every Hylian in this game say that same phrase because you can't understand what they're saying unless you have the book. That's right, the book actually has some sort of use in this game. RandomEffekt finds a take, and he wrote, and one of them leads to the Raft spot in Vanilla Level 4, so good chance Raft isn't going to be required for this seed.
Yeah, and equally good for him, those blue moblins there were 0 HP, so he's able to get his first bomb right there. See if he can get another one here pretty quick. Doesn't get another bomb pack, but man, them being 1 HP just makes this almost a bomb-free seed for these guys.
Oh, absolutely, because those blue moblins normally take 3 hits. There's some cash, 28 rupees for the medium secret. Ouch, that is not good. That is below the medium and well below the mean, so potential poverty seed alert. Do we have our item here? No, that's the staircase. I want to say there's a good chance we might have that Armo statue item at the near the level 6 spot.
Yeah, it could be level 6, could be east in the forest somewhere in there. I'm not sure if Garion got over there yet, but yeah, there's 5 spots. We've checked one of them. Let's see what that highly sought after Armos item is going to be.
Yep, and RandomEffekt going to take the other one. That's going to take you to Candle Row near Vanilla Level 1. And garionoldwolf checking the northeast spot, finds the first take any cave of this match and picks up the candle. Good idea. That's going to further allow him to explore Hyrule a bit more, able to burn down those bushes. Going to check this armor section. Here's level 1, and back-to-back bonus caves for garionoldwolf. This time he'll pick up the heart container, up to 4 hearts.
Yeah, both these guys getting a great start right now. Finding level 1's great because you're going to have, a pretty easy Triforce most likely and 2 items in here. It's so connected, the keys usually aren't a big deal in level 1, so that's good. Garion finding that candle means he's got bombs and a candle. He can explore almost all of Hyrule right now. And within 2 minutes starting like that, that's just such a great early find.
Boy, speaking of keys, that key that you saw in the northeastern shop, 120 rupees, that's as expensive as it comes because it's normally 100 with that price. So avoid that shop at all costs. Another medium secret for garionoldwolf. RandomEffekt's going to try his luck against these Stalfos, Gibdos, and Pulse Voices. Got to be careful of those Gibdos and Stalfos. And there's bubbles too. So yikes, what a breakfast room if I've ever seen one. He's just going to leave it alone and hope for sunnier days. There's a sunnier room there with just some gels.
Yeah, he tried to bomb south there, and I think it's going to be the old man right below him or the Zelda room itself because he wasn't able to bomb there. And you're guaranteed to be able to bomb in level 1, 2, and 3 if there's a connected room. So probably has an old man right below him, which was unfortunate, made him burn a key right there.
Good news, though, is he got a nice clock drop there, and he's going to get the compass, so now he knows exactly where the Triforce is, so that's a step in the right direction for RandomEffekt. Now he's just got to look for the 2 items. Meanwhile, Garion is going to check that same Armo statue, and he, too, is going to stumble upon level 1.
Yeah, this is great early. Within 5 minutes, you're in level 1. You've got wood sword. Garion's got a candle, got 4 hearts going on, that type of thing. So everything's rolling really, really positively for these guys in this seed so far.
Except for the Stalfos. They're a bit on the beefy side, but it's not really a huge deal.
I mean, they're Stalfos. They're harmless, right?
Not in second quest, because
they're throwing something back at you, right?
Yeah, those are the Lionel beams that do the same amount of damage. Those 2 hearts. There's a heart container. We don't know if that's the actual heart container, or if that is the floor item. Chances are it's probably the dungeon's heart container, but we shall see.
Yeah, definitely could be the floor one. We haven't seen either item yet in this one, so I don't know. They're either hidden up near the top or at the bottom. I'd go towards that Triforce and see maybe it just work out through the bottom there. I think Random's probably going to do that.
Yeah, RandomEffekt, though, is kind of hesitant to spend his keys, and who can blame him? Level 1 tends to be one of those dungeons that is usually filled with a lot of locked doors, and he wants to try and reserve it. There's the Triforce that the pancake is eagerly swallowing in its belly. And look at this, another locked door. Ooh, could we possibly have a recorder block item drop?
Yeah, that's one of those sought after rooms. Oh my gosh, and 5 bunnies here, which this is probably the item room right here. So Random's going to have to clear it. Unfortunately, takes a death. Man, this is an ugly level 1. It's great to find early, but you're seeing all kinds of time-wasted combat in here, which really stinks.
Yeah, absolutely. If it ain't bunnies, it's Wizrobes. And if it ain't Wizrobes, it's blue dark nuts. And if it ain't blue dark nuts, it's these Landmolas.
That's exactly right. Hasn't been like a room full of keys like you want to see, right?
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to see in level 1, but in the randomizer, anything goes.
Give me a rupee boss or something in 1, not these keys.
Yeah.
Or not these bunnies.
Yeah, you lose 2 hearts every time you get hit by these polls' voices there, and you can't be petting the bunnies. As cute as they are, you're going to be taking a death very fast if you try that approach.
Yeah, they definitely bite for sure.
Yeah, no question about it. RandomEffekt's going to give this Pole's Voice room another chance. Not yet. He's going to explore a little bit more. Hopefully find an item. And there's the map, which would help me if I was playing, because I don't really pay attention to the layouts, because when you do the speed runs, you know your ways. Like, map. Who needs a map?
I've got it pulled up in my Z helper every single time. No matter how many times I've been in level 2, I still pull it up just to see and make sure where I'm at.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. You want to make sure that you're bombing a correct room and you're not playing shapes, because last couple of tournaments we've done the shapes where we play everybody's favorite highly in-game show, find the bomb hole, but that's not really going to be the case too much, except when we get to level 9, because level 9 you've got 57 rooms and there's no telling where you can and cannot bomb, even with the help of the map.
Yeah, that's right. You know the shape, but you don't know the path, and that's the fun of level 9.
This is going to be our item. That was the item room, and we have got Lord Banana and RandomEffekt.
Oh my gosh, all that work, Laws, for that?
Well, TGE would be laughing his pants off right now, but RandomEffekt, I don't think he's laughing. He's not too thrilled to see that item, so it's pretty vanilla, but you know what? At least it ain't the drop item, because normally in level 1, that's the drop item. The staircase item, of course, would be the bow. There's the bomb upgrade. We haven't seen too many of those, at least when I've done commentary. It's 118 rupees on the expensive side.
Yeah, you're usually seeing fewer rooms because these flags are 5 Triforces instead of 8, so you don't get to see a lot of bomb upgrades. Just knowing about that early might matter later, because level 1 of where it is, you might be able to go grab that. I don't know. It's 118. It's probably not something you're going back for, but it's good to know where it is.
And these are pretty strong pancakes. It feels like they were more than 10 hits, and RandomEffekt's going to leave that Triforce behind. He wants that second item, and he's going to find an old man instead. No, that's where the bomb upgrade was that Garion had stumbled upon, and he doesn't have the 118 rupees either.
Yeah, it's interesting because those guys are going to respawn there now on him, so he's either going to have to go back through there. He knows it's a recorder blocked, maybe possible item room. The bummer for him is he's already got the item that's underground, so now it's going to be a floor drop, and that guy there, that Dig Dogger there that you have to have the recorder to kill, is making Random kind of question life right now. It's tough.
How come those pancakes respawn even though he had full cleared that room?
Yeah, that's a good question, because I think when it's an old man with a bomb upgrade like that and you go back, that it's not the 6 unique room, that type of thing. I think it's just one of those special cases to where you go back into that room and everything respawn. I believe that's the case.
Ah, gotcha. And there's a timely clock drop there for garionoldwolf. RandomEffekt's just going to pick up the Triforce and get the heck out of level 1. He is going to just cash his chips in. Garion still has not found either of the two items as up to this point. Oh, RandomEffekt's going to go for it.
Yeah, I think he's going to go back in, and I bet he goes north because he didn't go north in the top hook of one. So I think he wanted to kind of keep resources, but he wants this item so bad he's going to go back and see what it is.
Hopefully for RandomEffekt's sake, it's going to be worth his while. And meanwhile, Garion is doing some bunny hopping as well, and so far doing a good job here. And he gets a heart drop. And yep, decision time. He is going to spend a key here, and more bunnies.
Yeah, they're in the same room right now. Garion's in the hook right now, so we're going to see if it's going to be this dig.
Oh boy! Speaking of Wizrobes, not only do we have the cute bunnies, it's Uncle Wizzy's house, and RandomEffekt is throwing the white flag. He's done.
He pieced out of there real quick
because that's the item.
It was just a key, so he didn't really care.
Oh, it was the any key. It was the any key.
The any key. Okay, nice.
As did RandomEffekt, but the orange blended in so good, I didn't see the item. Wizrobes did a good job camouflaging that. I was only able to see it on Garion's side.
That was well worth going back for. I thought he just grabbed a key and pieced out, but no, that's definitely the Andy key. That's a great find early on.
Yeah, for both of our runners. Oh, that large secret that in vanilla level 2 that RandomEffekt just found. 86 rupees. This is definitely a poverty seed.
Yeah, it's definitely. We've already rolled a couple bucks short on the medium and now several bucks short on the large secret. So you're not just going to be spending money willy-nilly here, but there's not a lot to buy either with these flags.
Garion picked up the Triforce in level 1, so both of our runners have a Triforce apiece. Hey, at least we've got Brookie bombs. 9 rupees for a set of 4 bombs, and RandomEffekt is going to go ahead and buy the maximum, and the candle as well. So that's going to help him out. RandomEffekt hasn't discovered those Take-Any caves in Northeast Hyrule, so it could give him a better chance at either the magical sword, or perhaps he might want to invest in a potion.
Yeah, that's definitely good because he's in the forest right now. He doesn't want to ever have to double back. One of the biggest time wastes when you're in the overworld is having to go back to spots you've already walked across, especially if it's not near start where you started. So I like that candle purchase there. Even though money's tight, he's seen both the medium and the large. He bought that so he doesn't have to double back.
Yeah, I agree with that purchase. I definitely agree with that purchase. Besides, it was below the vanilla price. Speaking of vanilla prices, a little bit above the vanilla price on the wood arrows. We'll see if that comes into play if we've got ourselves a bow block situation. You never know if these Pentaforce seeds there, the door repair penalty on RandomEffekt's side. Hey, it's the minimum, 15 rupees. Oh, we got the book on the coast. That could come in handy potentially if they want some hints.
Yeah, what's weird about that, it's good to know where it is, right? But a lot of times your ladder is one of the last items that you find that kind of puts you in go mode. So you already have a lot of those hints. So that book on the coast is a double-edged sword. You know, you're not going to dig for it, but you probably are going to get it late enough in the match. It's not going to matter. Now, it will help when you get to level 9. So it's worth the effort of going back and getting it, but you're not going to go buy the hints after you go grab that.
And Garion says no way to Lord Banana also, so TGE is rooting for neither of these runners tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Speaking of bananas, RandomEffekt, in an effort to try to troll TGE, is unable to pick up the blueberry banana at 4 hearts. Too bad.
Random just likes anything free on the ground. That's what his thing was.
Gotcha. Well, here's level 2 that RandomEffekt just discovered.
Yeah, level 2 is another good find because he's already got the Annie key. He's got 5 bombs. He's going to be able to go all the way through this. It's Wizrobes, unfortunately, but this is such a small dungeon, and your item might be on the ground anyway. This is something you want to find.
Yep, so I don't think we're going to see RandomEffekt go back for that magical boomerang. I don't think we have seen any 0 HP enemies yet. Now, notice that sprite where garionoldwolf was, that was a Link sprite. Since he's playing as the Lionel sprite, any Lionels that he comes across, they'll turn into Links.
I love that switch when you see that. And it confused me at first. Like, the first time I saw it, I'm like, what in the heck is Link doing on the screen? But it makes complete sense. I love seeing that.
RandomEffekt found the Triforce in level 2. He's got 2 Triforce pieces, but he's going to go back into level 2. It's small enough. He's going to be looking for that item on the ground.
Yeah, the cool thing, too, is that there's a lot of dark rooms right now, and the Triforce can never be in a dark room, completely black room, so it's going to be easy for him to kind of spot which rooms here he's going to go out and clear.
Interesting. garionoldwolf found the cheap bomb shop, but did not decide to purchase any bombs. He already had the candle, so there was no need to get that, but I'm a little bit surprised he wouldn't spend those 9 rupees there.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, $9 when you got 168 makes complete sense, but I tell you what, when you race somebody like Random, you're thinking every frame matters, and maybe that's in his head.
Could be, yeah. Every second counts when it comes to these two runners. They are two of the top tier Zelda Randomizer runners in the business, and it's a close race right now.
Oh yeah, Garion could definitely hold his own. I mean, I'd put him right up there with Random. I think Random's in one of that elite class, but Garion's probably in the next tier down. He's a very, very good solid runner in his own right. And Random right now is making a couple mistakes that I don't see Random make much as far as movement and combat.
Yeah.
Gets sniped there too, so kind of opening the door here for Garion.
A little bit of sloppy combat here on RandomEffekt's side. That can happen. As I like to say, Redbird Reds, Randomizer doesn't care who you are. Anybody can win at any given race.
Yeah, that Wizrobe's going to fire no matter who's holding the controller, right?
No question about it. And garionoldwolf is going to be in level 2 very shortly, but he finds the magical boomerang. Well, he wants no part of it. He's going to pass that up. So he would have had a 50-50 chance to get that magical boomerang, but Garion says, no bananas today. No potassium in my body.
Very nice. Yeah, Garion is going to come across two here. He's going to come across the Triforce. I guarantee he's going to full dig this. This is just a level that once you find earlier, you're going to full dig. But let's see who gets out of here, because Random with those couple deaths now has kind of allowed Garion to catch back up in the level.
It's pretty much an even race up to this point. RandomEffekt does have the Triforce advantage, but he has not found the item. There's a pack of bombs. Unfortunately, he's only going to get a +1 out of it because he was already at 7, but better than, losing bombs, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely. These free rooms like this are so nice because you can just kind of fly through there.
Here's the river room with a free 5 rupee. Doesn't even have to tango with those orange land moles. Going to lose 2 hearts every time you get hit, and more bunnies.
Yeah, I like this. That could be his item room right there, but he's just going to go ahead and leave that. He'll come back to it. He wants to leave the harder rooms for last, because if you find the item just on the ground somewhere, you didn't have to mess with those bunnies. So I like the decision to go ahead and just leave them where they were.
Great thing is that both of these players have the any key. Unfortunately, Garion is now out of bombs, so this could cause a problem later on. Looks like the orange Wizrobes are at its even par hit points at 4. Hey, white sword.
Yeah, see, that decision by Random to leave those bunnies there was just a wise one. It's kind of a pro move there to leave the harder rooms and go just try to find what else is there, what else the seed's going to give you. And a white sword laying on the ground is exactly what he wanted to see.
Better believe it. There is the casino for RandomEffekt. Not going to gamble his 98 rupees. He's going to burn this bush here, and he's going to find his first take any cave. He'll pick up the heart container. That puts him at 5 hearts. Both of our runners are now sitting on 5.
You like to play the casino, Lost?
Sometimes I do. The last randomizer I played, though, I didn't play. I kind of feel bad for not doing so.
You got to do it once, right? Just to step across and see.
I think the problem was it was a money-rich seed, and I found the casino after I topped out my wallet. So there's no need to play when you're at 255.
Yeah, I totally understand. I probably have stepped on the casino tiles fewer than anybody here, but it's fun to watch. But that's how they build those hotels, right? They get you.
Oh, absolutely. No question about it. Meanwhile, RandomEffekt is heading towards Northeast Hyrule, and he's going to find those 2 take-any caves. That'll put him at 3 of the 4, finding another 28 rupees in the process. Meanwhile, Garion's heading in the wrong direction towards, the item he's looking for. Well, actually, wait. We were talking about casinos so much, he's already found the white sword. Now he just needs the Triforce.
Yeah, he's got to find that Dodongo room, and he's sitting here clearing rooms that could be the Triforce. This could be right here. But we know that easier room down south is going to hold the key for him.
I certainly can't blame. With the white sword, it's going to do 2 hit points of damage, so those bunnies will go down in half the hits that wood sword does, and it'll make the blue Wizrobes a little bit easier as well. And RandomEffekt's going to find the first of those 2 bonus caves. That'll put him at 6 hearts. If he wanted to, he could go back for that magical boomerang if he wanted to. But again, I don't think he's going to make that play. No way, no how.
It's so tempting to go down there and grab that, isn't it?
Yes. I'll say one thing. If TGE was doing commentary, I guarantee he was going to pick it up. And this is the move that I thought RandomEffekt might make here, given that he had already picked the candle. He bought that candle. He takes the potion out of his 3rd take-any cave. I like this move. He's already got the white sword. He's got 182 rupees. He's sitting on 6 hearts. Magical sword, considering that you're only going to need 5 Triforce pieces, is a rarity, much more so than normal. So I like this move by RandomEffekt.
Yeah, he's pretty much any seed that you roll for him, he's pretty much a candle first. Then he gets hearts enough that he can pick up the white sword item. He's already seen that, so he grabs a potion. That's pretty much verbatim what he's going to do every single time, and he held true here too.
Meanwhile, Garion found his third take in cave, same spot as RandomEffekt, also picked up the heart container, so he too is guaranteed the magical boomerang if he wanted. But again, I don't think either of these runners are going to pick it up. Instead, Garion's going to pick up this medium secret. That'll put him up to 215.
Yeah, both these guys flush with cash, and bombs being as cheap as it is, they're going to be able to basically pick up anything they want to. You'll probably see an arrow purchase. You'll probably see bait purchase, that type of thing.
If you're going to get an 86 rupee secret, do it when you're 2 away from the maximum. He does not overflow his wallet. He's sitting pretty at 253.
Calculated, man. Totally calculated.
So if he finds a blue ring shop, it'll be decision time for RandomEffekt. I don't see him buying the blue ring. I know his combat is good enough that if he finds a blue ring shop, he's not going to pick it up unless it's one of those super duper heavy duty combat seeds.
I'm surprised, though, that he didn't maybe make an arrow purchase there, though. That's probably what I would have picked up at 253. Maybe the arrows. He knows right now in the seed he does not have to buy keys. He might not get the book until later. What else is there really to use the money on?
Now, here's a good find for garionoldwolf. He just found the letter 1 spot away from the forgotten spot. And so if he finds a potion shop, he can show that potion and buy some potion. There's a casino at the forgotten spot, and he's going to forget about that casino.
He's going to piece out of there. I don't think he's going to be playing that either. Both these guys, 216 and 253. Money is not an issue.
RandomEffekt's also going to find that letter, and he's going to pick it up just in case. If he burns both of his 2 potions, drinks that up, he can always buy more.
Yeah, you could have a situation where red ring's deep in 7. You've already got your 5.
Speaking of the red ring!
There it is.
Wow. Quadruple defense for both garionoldwolf, and if RandomEffekt goes that same direction, he's going to get it too. So hopefully for his sake, he finds the red ring before he finds a blue ring shop. There's level 9. Now we're finding everything here. The sky's the limit for both of our runners.
Yeah, absolutely. If you've got red ring and white sword, you're just set up so well for these flags in this seed. Now it's just, let's find level 8, let's find level 3, those levels that are really going to be a lot of bang for your buck, and that's what they're leaning on.
Of course, these runners still need the bow, and they still need the silver arrows, and potentially the ladder if we see a ladder blocked level 9 or a ladder blocked dungeon that contains either said bow or silver arrows.
Yeah, we're still early enough in this this season to let's talk about that a little bit. These important items that can be a 9. This is something that's been changed in the randomizer. So usually the silver arrows can be a 9, but like the bow can't, the ladder can't. Well, now level 9 being open to those items means you might have to dip 9 to get a ladder, which leads you to the bow in the outside or something like that. You might have to double dip 9. So very important strategic decisions you'll see these guys make.
Oh, no doubt about it. RandomEffekt found his red ring, so his defense is quadrupled as well. So those orange wizard beams are only going to do 100 damage.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Red ring, I think, is the most overpowered item in the game. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely, indeed. There's the blue ring shop right after they pick up the red ring. The order of operations couldn't have been better for a garionoldwolf. And now he's thinking about a purchase.
Buy the meat.
He might as well buy the meat. I'll tell you what, the good news is it's the cheap meat. The bad news is it's the most expensive the cheap meat can be at 80. Because we already saw the expensive bait.
What would you have done in that spot?
I would have bought the bait.
Yeah, me too. That's one block you don't want to have. I mean, let's say you go all the way through 4 and all of a sudden you see a bait block or something like that, and you oh geez, or 6 or something like that. You definitely want to have it.
Yeah, I've got the red ring. There's no need for me to buy a blue ring. If I find a bait shop, if I find an arrow shop, I'm buying both.
Yeah, absolutely. Arrows and meat are both an instant purchase for me at this point.
Ooh, RandomEffekt almost missed that spot, but instead he's going to find a secret and he's going to pass it up, and I don't blame him. If it's that third large secret, he is left a lot of rupees on the table, and in a poverty seed like this, you don't want to be doing that.
No, these guys are desperately looking for dungeons. I don't know if we got a lot of Power Bracelet blocked or maybe a lot of Death Mountain blocked dungeons right now. We haven't seen a lot.
Well, we're going to be checking some Deathbound here, and speaking of which, there's level 3 for Garion. And he's knocking them off in order. That's something you don't see every day.
No, that's a great find. Here's your Keese room. So we were looking for a dungeon that has easy combat. 3's where it's at right now. This could be his item right here. I'm kind of interested to see what this push block yields. Here it is.
It is. What do we have in level 3? We have the recorder, which very well could come in handy.
Yeah, this zips you around. He's got the Triforces out of 1 and 2, and you see that takes you back to the east side of Hyrule. So that recorder will allow him to get back and forth. If he grabs a Triforce out of 3, now he's got Death Mountain access again. He can get almost anywhere he wants to in Hyrule with that recorder.
Meanwhile, Random Effect's in 33 rooms of pure madness. He's in level 7 right now. He just found the transport staircase. So the next staircase he finds will be his item. There's the Triforce just sitting there.
That's a beauty, too, because I think a lot of people are going to instantly say, okay, 7, if I get an item, an early item, I'm not going to dig the Triforce out. Knowing exactly where this Triforce is, if this block pushes, oh my god, this is the Dream 7.
You've got to be kidding me. And there's the raft for Random Effekt. We know that one of the spots has the Take Any Roads, but that one in Eastern Hyrule, you never know. This is the tamest level 7. I've done a lot of randomizers that have vanilla level 7. I call level 7 33 rooms of pure chaos for a reason. This is one of the tamest level 7s I've ever seen in all the commentary I've done.
Well, it's the dream because just the knowledge of level 7 doesn't have my bow and silvers, even if the raft nets you nothing. A lot of times in the back of your mind, you go, I do not want to dig 7. I do not want to dig 7. Random knows right now, I don't have to dig 7, and that's a beauty.
Ooh, good news for garionoldwolf. He finds one of the 3 potential mugger rooms. There can be anywhere between 0 and 3 mugger rooms in a randomizer run. And because he's got that any key, the choices were leave one of your max bombs or your 5 keys. Because he's got the any key, that any key acts as a free pass, so he spends nothing, and there's the Triforce, so that is required.
He's got 3 Triforces. Both these runners are 3 Triforces, only need 2 more. Neither one have the bow or silvers, and it's kind of getting down to where in the heck is this? My guess is level 8 is going to yield us something special.
Or maybe it's level 6, and level 6 is another big dungeon as well. And we've seen a lot of shenanigans happen in these Pentaforce tournaments already where important items are level 6, but here's level 5 for Garion.
How do you like this Pepto-Bismol palette, though, going on?
Pepto-Bismol, what, on Garion's side?
On Random side, that's what I'm seeing.
I don't see it. I see purple.
Must be my screen or something. I got to adjust my colors because it looks Pepto-Bismol to me.
When you see the bubblegum colored, or as I like to say, the dungeon that Zelda painted, that's the Pepto-Bismol color.
Gotcha. Yeah, so this is super interesting right now. We've got level 6 going on Random side, 5 for Garion, so they're both in different dungeons. We don't know what's in either of them. We have no hints or anything like that, so let's see if somebody takes a little lead based on what dungeon they're in.
Absolutely. A timely bomb drop there in that bunny room for garionoldwolf. He was down to his last bomb, so that's a nice find there. Random Effekt finding the push block that'll open those doors. Still looking for the staircase and the Triforce. There's the map, which isn't going to help him, so at least it ain't the Triforce. There's the map that garionoldwolf's going to pick up. Nice little refresher of what level 5 looks like.
Yeah, compass there on Random side, which is good, which means now he only has to clear rooms that could be potential item rooms. That just makes a lot of the 6's combat non-existent. You can just walk straight through some of these rooms now.
Uh-oh, we've got the T room here, and we may have a potential ladder block from the Triforce here in 6. There's the Triforce in 5 for Garion. He's going to pass for now, looking for the item.
Yeah, both these guys need a little help right now, item-wise, so they're searching, digging these items out. You're not going to see anybody leaving anything anytime soon.
No, these runners are not going to gamble that both the bow and the silver hours at level 9. That's just a ridiculously bad gamble. I mean, to have both of them in 9, I mean, it is possible. And we've seen it happen before, but it's still a really rough gamble to try that.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Possible, not probable. You want to play the odds here, and the odds are not in your favor to make that call.
Not at this time. I mean, if you felt that you were behind your opponent, I could see that move potentially as a desperation Hail Mary, but when you have 2 runners like Random Effekt and garionoldwolf, they're not going to take silly gambles like that. Not at this time.
No, not at all. And Random definitely has his work cut out for him here. This is not... I mean, it's an easier room because you can pivot around these blocks and stuff, but anytime you have 6 blue dark nets sitting there waiting for you, Random's making it look very, very easy. I can promise you it's not as easy as it just made it look.
Well, he's getting some help from that red ring. Is this our item? Nope, that's the transport in level 5. Garion wants to not take that. When you have the red ring, instead of doing 2 hearts of damage, those blue darts only do half a heart of damage.
That's so nice there. Oh, man, the compass sitting there for Garion on the T-room. He's got to go around that. He knows where the Triforce is anyway, but just having to go around that T-room, it's just kind of a frustrating feeling.
Yeah, especially if you can't do block clips or ladder clips or anything like that. And Random Effekt, he finds the staircase, but again, not the one he's looking for. He's looking for the item here.
Yeah, he's seen a lot of the upper part of this 6, so I'm thinking maybe this item's going to be in the bottom hook or something like that. I don't know. Maybe he's going to take that transport if he searches over here and doesn't find anything, but...
is this the item? Our bracelet for garionoldwolf. He has found the item in level 5, so Garion's going to take a little tiny lead on Random Effekt unless the item in level 6 proves to be a jackpot.
Yeah, absolutely. Because we haven't seen 8 yet, that kind of opens up the possibility of him having the item needed to find 8. So that's a pretty important pickup on Garion's side.
And not only that we have not seen levels 4 and 8 yet, so there's always that chance. There's 4 power bracelet spots in Hyrule. One of them could have maybe level 8.
I'll give you a little item recap while we're watching him go through. Garion does grab his 4th Triforce here. He needs one more Triforce so he can get into 9, but 1 had a Lord Banana, and it also had the Any Key. 2 had the White Sword. 3 had the Recorder. 5 had the Power Bracelet. 7 had the Raft. The Book is on the Coast. The Red Ring was the Armos item. The Bloomerang was our White Sword item. So we need items out of 4, 6, 8, and 9. That's what we're missing right now, guys.
RandomEffekt in 6. Garionoldwolf finds a hint shop. Unfortunately, he does not have the book. If he gets the ladder, he can pick up the book, and if he's still at the point where he doesn't have silver arrows and the bow at that point, he may want to think about going back to that shop then.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, if you're still missing a couple pieces like that, you're definitely going to be doing that.
Yep, and since he's got 245 rupees and RandomEffekt the maximum 255, why not purchase those hints? Remember, once you have the book, any hints that you purchase, they're all going to be helpful hints, but are they going to be the hints that you need? That's the big question.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't know if Random's been to this room to the left of here or not, but the fact that you couldn't bomb in from there means maybe it's one of those side staircases. I don't know if he's been up there or not.
Yes, that's correct, because that room, you can't see it. You cannot see it on the map when you play the game, but that is one of those hidden rooms. And that's the one thing about regular vanilla shapes. Those hidden rooms that you see during your vanilla quest are in play in the randomizer.
Yeah, I think you're going to see him go back to that transport and see where that takes him here. But it's either that one top left room is not going to be one of those hidden rooms. But I think what he's going to do is he's going to try to go down to the bottom hook.
RandomEffekt taking a sip of that Coke, which leaves him with the Pepsi, so he can refill his health one more time. Garion finds level 8.
See, I think 8's going to have... We haven't seen anything. 6 could definitely have something still. We got 2 items here and 8 in play, and I think this is advantage Garion right now. 4 Triforces, and he's in a level that we have no idea what it is, and there's two items in here. So I think Garion's in the right place.
We're getting indication from Jiggly Saint that the hidden room that we're thinking of is in level 7, not level 6. Ooh, red candle. So, Garion, I'm a little surprised he's picking this up 30 minutes in. Usually, it's a good item to find early. It's a nice early combat weapon to have, very useful against Gibdos. But he's going to go and pick it up, It's good because you can fire the candle as many times as you want as opposed to just once on a screen. Then you have to go to another screen if you want to fire it again. So not the item that Garion was looking for, but still not a terrible pickup.
I'll give you a little update. We're 10% to have bow and silvers in 9.
Ooh, already got the odds here. So a 1 in 10 chance that those silver arrows and the bow are both in level 9. Now that would be crazy. We'll see if that comes to fruition or not. Still, the odds are pretty low, but they're getting better all the time. And RandomEffekt gets the Triforce out of level 6. Now he's got 4 Triforce pieces. Now he's looked at a lot of level 6. Is he pot committed or is he determined that he's ladder blocked? He's done with 6.
Yeah, he thinks he's ladder blocked here, and I don't blame him. He wants to get out of there and make some more progress. He hasn't seen 8, and he's sitting here thinking, okay, I could sit here, and there's another piece. There's the heart container in 8. Laws, we're getting close.
So we have things that are red for 800, Alex, and the answer is red candle, heart container.
Yeah, so we're 17% now to have both exactly the bow and silvers being in 9.
A 1 in 6 chance. Can you believe this? But you know what? I think the likely scenario, Redbird, is going to be we're going to have a chain reaction double dip seed. I have a feeling that the whatever that was in level 6 that RandomEffekt couldn't get to is ladder block. Ladder's going to be a 9, and the item's either going to be the bow or the silver arrows.
That could absolutely be it. And if that's the case, then Random's at a huge advantage because he's explored more of 6 than Garion has. So if Garion has to go back to 6, Random's going to know exactly right where to go. Garion's not.
Exactly, and Garion's going to have a decision to make once he finds the Triforce out of level 8. He's already found both items in level 8. And again, level 8, much smaller in the vanilla game than you would see in the randomizer. You'd see those 40 rooms in the randomizer level 8. Here, not nearly as many.
Nope, because we're playing the vanilla shapes. Level 8 was designed to beat
ladder
block Triforce.
So Garion cannot even get the Triforce out of level 8, and that might be a blessing in disguise for Garion.
Yeah, that might send him to another level 6, level 4, something like that. Somewhere he hasn't been yet. Level 7 had a very quick Triforce if you take the right path. So this could be a blessing in disguise, like you said.
The only level we have not found yet now is level 4.
I want to say, I'm thinking it's going to be Power Bracelet blocked in the Northwest.
We'll see if that comes into fruition. I think it's going to be blocked by some kind of means. There's a bomb shop for RandomEffekt, and with all that cash, he's going to go ahead and purchase a set of 4 bombs. Instead, we've got a secret at the Forest Power, which is a small secret, though, is pretty good. It's 1 below the max at 19.
Or Laws 4 could be just east of Vanilla Start in a burn bush nobody checked yet.
Wow, so that recorder, that power bracelet, that raft, none of that's required unless there's a dig dogger requirement to get an item out.
But the ladder might be required in 4 because I just saw one room that's only going to be accessible because of the Chevy room from the east. That could be terrible.
This could get very interesting. What if we were double ladder blocked from both the bow and the silver arrows? That would be crazy.
Oh my god, ladder in 9, bow in 4 in that one room, and then silvers in 6.
That would be something else. And yeah, the way this is shaping up to be, if we have the ladder block how we think it is, there is a very high probability that that ladder is a 9.
Yeah, absolutely. These guys want to get this Triforce and get. I mean, you're going to want to absolutely dig 4 as much as you can and get whatever's in here. But God, that's terrible, man.
Yeah, what's terrible is being trapped in the shoot room with no beam sword to take out your enemies. You have to use your bombs.
Especially when you're half a heart from it and you got a blue potion in your pocket, you're like, well, I can use it, or...
Well, here's the staircase in level 4. So we have our item in level 4. It's time to find out what our prize is. RandomEffekt will get the ladder!
The ladder, which means he could redig 6, he could go straight to 9. He knows now where the Triforce is in 4. He's going to grab that, be able to go into 9, but without bow or silvers, what call do you make here?
Yep, there are 2 items. At least one of them is in level 9. The other item that is still in play that we have not discovered yet is the wand.
All right, so there's 3 items outstanding. The bow and silvers could be in 9, or one of them could be in 6. I think Random's probably going to go straight to 9.
I wouldn't blame him. That's his 5th Triforce piece, and he's going to probably play the odds here. He knows at least one of those items is in level 9, so we're going to find out what kind of decision RandomEffekt's going to make here. And right now, we are 35 minutes in. This is looking like a lightning seed. I think it's going to be sub-hour for both of our runners here, potentially.
Yeah, he is 33% right now to be able to pull both of these in 9 exactly.
Now, there's another thing that Trenton just made a point in chat. He could be going for hints, He has the ladder, and, he's heading towards that part of the map. I wonder if he might make a play for getting the ladder or getting the book and then going to that hint shop and maybe get some valuable information.
No, he's going straight back to 6. He only has a few rooms left in 6. I kind of like this play because in his mind, he doesn't know what's in 5, 6, or 9. So he's 50-50 that this item right here is going to be one of the bow or silvers in his head. He doesn't know that he's actually 67% for it to be that way. But in his head, he's 50-50, so I like it.
I like this play, too. It's a safe play. He only had a few rooms to check. He now has the ladder. And then, he's not discovered 5, obviously, nor has he discovered 3. Keep that in mind. He's not discovered 3.
Oh, that's right. He has not got the recorder. So he's 40% in his head here.
So he will still have a 50-50 decision to make, but we will find out what kind of play RandomEffekt's going to make once he finds this item out of level 9. Now, garionoldwolf, he's getting close to where the item is, the ladder out of level 4. In fact, here it is right now. He just has to make sure that he doesn't take a death here, which, again, he's got that red ring, so it shouldn't be what's wrong. In fact, he gets a fairy for good measure, and he's going to pick up his prize right now.
Yeah, and in his head, he's got 6 and 7 left to do, right? He's going to get 4. He's done 8. He knows where the Triforce is in 8. He just has 6 and 7 to do, and do you go dig 9 or the big gold 6 and 7? I think he's going to go instantly into 9.
Actually, his odds are even lower than that because chat just made another good point. Wizrobe and Antlers, level 8. He's not found that either. Those are 2 more items he's got to think about.
Oh, Random's not found 8. That's right. I was thinking of Garion. Oh, that's exactly right.
So it's interesting. Both of these players are lacking information one way or the other. Garion has that ladder. He just needs to get the Triforce now. He's going to have a decision to make as well. Go and find more levels or go into level 9. The item, bow!
Yeah, there's the bow in 6. So that was a great play by Random. His odds were higher for it being outside of 9 than I thought. So it made complete sense because he hadn't seen 8 yet. So that play made a whole lot of sense because he hadn't seen 5, 6, 7 rooms in 6. So let's just go back there, see what it is. Happens to be the bow. All he needs now is the silvers. Now do you dip 9 or not?
Yes, he's going to go into 9. He's going to take that chance. He's going to make that play. He's going to take that gamble that one of those 2 items in 9 is going to be the silver arrows. He's going to go for it, I think. Now,
yeah, and we know he's going to be right because it's got to be the silvers and the 1. That's all that's left over. So Random is making the play. That is absolutely correct. He doesn't know it yet, but our silvers have got to be in 9.
Yep. In fact, I'm going to give you the full recap of the items right now. Garion's also going into level 9. They both enter level 9 at the same time. Unfortunately for Garion, he's going to be missing out on the all-important bow. So, interesting. We will see how this goes, but it's looking like RandomEffekt's in the cap position. There's the wand. And that could scare RandomEffekt. The best thing
for Garion because that means the bow and the silvers can't be in here. Garion needs to leave right now.
Yep, indeed. And if this is one of those trolley level 9s, but again, he's got red ring, he's got the keys. Only a game of Find the Bomb Hole, in my opinion right now, could stop RandomEffekt. That's the only thing that can stop him.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Because Garion has, 3 different places he can go right now, and Random just has 1. This is the only place he should be, and he's not going to dip out of here. Even finding 1 item, he's not going to dip out of here. This is Random's to lose for sure.
Absolutely right. Now that we know everything, I'm going to go over the item recap list since we're almost 40 minutes in. And immediately, RandomEffekt finding the silver arrows. These are 2 of the fastest level 9 items you will ever find. What is with this seed, Redbird?
Yeah, this is not my level 9s. This is not fair laws. I rolled the wrong seeds for these guys. This is BS. I don't get these seeds.
Well, they still have to find Ganon and Zelda, to be fair. Or in RandomEffekt's case, he's got to find Link. So
I'm gonna be 1 room away. You know it, right?
That would be crazy. I'm gonna go very fast because the way RandomEffekt's plowing through this, he may beat this seed before I get done. Level 1, Lord Banana, any key. Level 2, White Sword. Level 3, Recorder. Level 4, Ladder. Level 5, Power Bracelet. Level 6, Bow. Level 7, Raft. Level 8, Red Candle Heart Container. Level 9, Silver Arrows Wand. Arnold Statue, Red Ring, Ladder Item, Book, and the White Sword item, Magical Boomerang.
Yeah, nicely done. We promised you at the start of this race that these guys would be in 9 together. They'd be chasing her down together. They'd be within minutes of each other. They've lived up to it. They're both sub 40 into 9. Garion's just missing the bow, but he's making a calculated risk here. Knows he can't get both right now, but you can see why this matchup was at the head of its class for this week, too. This was a lot of fun to watch.
And basically what it boiled down to was routing. That was it. I mean, RandomEffekt had that, kind of that sloppy start with his combat, but this was a generous seed, White Sword into Red Ring as the Armo Statue item. This was a very generous seed to both of our runners. Right, the difference has just been the routing. That's it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, they went in separate directions in the middle of this. They kind of met back up here, but unfortunately, the direction that Random went in, fortunately for him, was the bow. The direction that Garion went got him the Power Bracelet and not the bow. So that was just like you said, just the way they chose to get to 9 was good for one and not good for the other.
Ooh, there's a second Mugger room that RandomEffekt has just found, but again, he's got that any key. It's a free pass. He spends nothing. Too bad, Mugger.
Yeah, not today, sir.
Yeah, that old man, you're getting nothing. Good day, sir.
It's funny because that's the sound bite that plays whenever Random is running no up A and he loses. You lose. Yep. Good day, sir.
Yep, that's absolutely right, Redbird Grad. In fact, when I get a PB, I actually play the U1 clip from the same movie. So
that's fantastic.
He actually inspired me to do that for the winning cue because I actually have a different losing cue. There's an unused soundbite from the 7th guest where Stealth says, "You didn't think it was going to be that easy, did you?" That's what I use for the lose.
Oh my God! And we gave him the compass laws too, right on the ground.
Are you kidding me? What is this madness? But of course, the question is getting to Link's room that easy, or is it one of those magical staircase situations?
Yeah, we're gonna know right here if this shutter did open. So never mind, because we have the compass.
Yep. So RandomEffekt's going to take a staircase. He feels confident that he can find a path to Link. He's just trying to find the beast. Now, unlike the other randomizer tournaments where if a room goes dark, we know that that's where Ganon is, that's not going to be the case because in the normal game, there's a lot of dark rooms at level 9.
Yeah, absolutely. On Garion's side, what he's doing, I believe, is he's looking for that second item one, but I think he's doing that more importantly to get a path to Ganon, get a path to her, so he knows right when he comes back exactly how to do that. And if I happen upon this second item, great. What he also will do if he finds a second item is he's going to know if he needs 1 or 2 items outside of here, so he knows when to come back. So I kind of get not dipping out here. I was a proponent of dipping out as soon as he found that wand, but I get what he's doing right here, and it makes sense.
Yeah, he wants to make sure he knows where everything is. That way he's not looking for it after he comes back. He wants to know where Ganon is, know where Zelda is, then... But on RandomEffekt side, here's Ganon.
And speaking of knowing where he is, he's right here. He's got to just guess once right here, and as soon as he stun locks him, Ganon is toast.
Right, now he's got the Pepsi in hand. Do not leave it on the table. There's 3 hits. Boy, he's getting all the right teleports. This is just like normal game, isn't it? 4 in a row.
Yeah, he's doing a perfect right side dance here.
6. Still. Well, he got it, but he missed. 7. 1 more. Now, he's got to be careful. Hyrule Driver costs him 1, but down goes Ganon, and he's not going to take any chances. Going to drink the Pepsi. Going to get his silver arrows out. Down goes the pig. He's got a Triforce of Power. We've got Bacon, and RandomEffekt, provided that the path holds true, he's going to finish around 45 minutes. This is going to be a heck of a time for RE.
Yeah, this is a great time for dipping 7 like he did, and kind of having the weird combat start for random, for random standards. But this is a heck of a time for doing both those things. And if this meat is required, that's fantastic.
Whoa, a potential bait block here in level 9. We will see. Stay tuned. It might not quite be over, folks. So get this, that we have a mugger room, we have a bait block. So if they have the book, they're only going to get 1 hit from the old men.
Yeah, exactly. And this is kind of what I hate about level 9 sometimes, is that Garion took 1 wrong turn here. That's it. And that's why he didn't find the silvers. Random found the silvers pretty quick, if you remember, near start. Garion's kind of went on this wild goose chase. It took him quite a ways away from where the silvers were, but it just monopolizes so much of your time because you go on this wild goose chase over here on the wrong side, and now your level 9 turns out 15 minutes longer than it should have. And this is just unfortunate to see.
Unfortunately for RandomEffekt, he's playing the game of Find the Bomb Hole, and he is striking out, and now he's got to think about, can I get there from another angle, or am I really bait blocked from Link?
Yeah, this is why in these flags, I'm not sure if Random saw the cheat bait or if it was just Garion. I know we saw Garion see it, but you have so much money in these flags, just buy it. You never know when you're going to need that bait.
Absolutely. We talked about it when you asked me if I would have saw that bait with all that money. I said, yep, I'm buying it because you never know. It doesn't happen in level 9 very often, but that off chance that it does happen, and it could cost RandomEffekt the race if this was a little closer. But again, he doesn't know it. He's still in the driver's seat.
But I guarantee what he's doing is he's looking over at IRC every 10 seconds, waiting for the dot done.
He may have found the other way to get there. I think RandomEffekt found the magical staircase. GG. That shutter door automatically opens, and RandomEffekt is going to be 2-0 in the tournament. And wouldn't you know it, Link is not getting the compass, but the map.
The guy had the map. Well, we're playing First Quest. It's okay, right? He can have the map in this one.
Absolutely. Get your GGs out for RandomEffekt, boy. He played a near flawless race. Got off to that kind of rough start, but after that, it was just all RandomEffekt from here on out.
Yeah, his skill definitely showed through there at the end. Random does this thing to where once he kind of understands his seed, he flips a switch and just hits the button and goes. And that happened in the middle of the seed. I say it every time I watch this guy run. He hits a switch and goes to another level, and once he does that, he's impossible to catch.
And do we have an official SRL time for RandomEffekt?
We do. It is 45:58. So a sub 50 time, a mid 40s time is fantastic. Especially, like I said, when you jump into 67 like that, to pull up a 45 is just amazing.
Yeah, that is an exceptional time. One of the best times we have seen in the tournament so far. Garion has paused his screen and might have thought about waving the white flag, but maybe he was just, mapping his decisions here. He's going to keep going and try and finish this like a good sport.
Yeah, he was given GGs in the IRC, which is awesome to see the display there from him, even mid-race.
Bet. When he sees that bait block too, and I wonder if the same thing's going to swirl in Garion's head. Now, again, he has to back out and go to another dungeon, so knowing what might have seen, he may purchase that bait, thinking he's bait blocked.
Yeah, I mean, especially if he has to come out of 9, like we know he does, to go get that bow in 6. He knows where the bait shop is. It's a more direct path to her that he might just go ahead and do it.
And we do have RandomEffekt here in the commentator's booth with us. GGRE, a sub 46. Very impressive time. Got off to that rough start with a couple of early deaths there, but then you turned on the afterburners. Go over this scene with us.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, finding the wood sword in the first cave was awesome. I kind of wish I would have. I mean, it didn't really make sense for me to do it, but I kind of wish I did go to the Armo statue. That I knew that was the Armos item by that point. But I didn't know it was the red ring. I just knew where it was, and it was kind of out of the way. I was like, well, that would have helped me in some of those deaths. But otherwise, yeah, I was just kind of plowing through. I wasn't really caring too much about the health. There was just like 2 deaths that were really unfortunate, and that was in level 1 and level 2. The Pole's voice, so sometimes when you have 6 of them in a room, it's hard to dodge them all. But the Wizro beam in level 2 was my own fault. I tried to get back on the half tile, and I just went a full tile, that's all.
Yeah, those Wizro beams can be tough to dodge. Yeah, those half tile strats. If you're on that half tile, it's a strat that can really save your bacon. But that time, it just kind of went a little bit wrong. But hey, not a problem. Again, really good time. The difference in this race between you two, because you guys are pretty much neck and neck for the Triforce reasons. You weren't finding the important items. The big difference just happened to be routing.
Yeah, I was sweating a little after level 6 because I had 4 Triforces and nothing important to my name. So I was like, well, I'm going to have some options here depending on what I find. And my plan was, which you saw play out, is that, okay, I know I'm ladder blocked in 6. When I found the ladder in 4, I said I'm going to immediately go back there because it's the easiest thing I can do right now, and see what that item is. And once it was the bow, I was like, well, I'm going to 9 because my plan was I'm going to find one of the items that I need, the bow or the silvers, and then I'm going to go into 9. And once I found the bow, I was like, well, I'm going to 9.
I got to tell you something, RE. Both Redbird and I were taking notes of what the items were going to be. We were almost at the level 9 situation where it was going to be bow and silver arrows. We were down to 3 items. 3.
Nice. So did he find level 3 and do it?
He found level 3. Level 3 had the recorder.
Okay. And did he find level 5? What was level 5?
5 had the power bracelet, not required.
Yeah. Were they in Death Mountain? Because I never found 3 or 5.
Yeah, they were right next to each other in Death Mountain. And 8 was up there,
yes.
Too. Oh, yeah, I never found 8 either.
Cavalcade of items. 8 only had the red candle and the heart container. And there's the silver arrows found by garionoldwolf. Now he knows he has to go back to another level. Needs to go back to level 6, but he's not found 6 or 7 yet.
Yeah,
so
he had the Triforces random out of 1 through 5 and had found level 8 and got both items out of there. But the Triforce is ladder blocked. So he was able to get into 9 because of 1 through 5, but unfortunately for him, the only 2 items he didn't see that he was able to was 6 and 7. Of course, 6 had our bow.
Yeah, I was... I'll say that my level... I mean, it was sort of took me there, but levels 7 and 9 were very good.
Yeah, they were.
For sure.
I popped out of the first staircase in level 7, went one room, found the Triforce, went another room, found the item. I was like, well, that's about the best level 7 you can get.
Absolutely.
I was cursing at you at that point, man.
yes, he was. I said the same. I said the same thing, RandomEffekt. I said, I have done so many Zelda randomizer races where we've had a vanilla level 7. And I always have a moniker, 33 rooms of pure whatever, torture, mayhem, hell, whatever. That had to be the tamest level 7 ever.
Yeah, and I'll say it out loud because I'm pretty sure this is true. I believe that is the first time in level 9 that I found both items before I found a staircase. I think I found both items before I found a staircase.
You did.
Yeah, you're right,
so
for sure.
That's ridiculous.
I mean, the odds of that, because there's 14 staircases, because you have the 6 sets of transfer 2 items. So it's 2 out of 14 times 1 out of 13. Do the math.
It's very rare, and I don't think that's actually ever happened to me. And I was like, if you saw me on my stream, I just burst out laughing when I found the silvers in the second staircase. So I was like, all right, I guess this is happening.
I do have to ask you this, Random. How many times did you look over at IRC after you found that bait block and were looking for another way to her?
I wasn't looking at IRC. I was trying to just find my way around. I pretty much thought that once I went back to the ladder blocked bow in 6, I probably had an advantage. Probably, like I was just playing the numbers there that was probably in my favor. And so I wasn't really worried about him finishing in front of me. I was just more worried about trying to find a way around. And then the wheels were turning in my head of, did I ever even see a bait shop? And the answer was no. So I would, if that would have been the only way, I would have had to go find a bait shop still.
Yeah, there's too much space between that bait block and her to be the only way, I think. But yeah, it was one of those things where, man, if I'm racing that and I'm in your shoes, I am looking over like every 30 seconds to see if someone's gonna finish.
I just did the math, and if you're going by pure chance and not taking room layouts into account, the odds of finding those 2 rooms in that order, 1 in 91.
Nice. I've definitely done more than 91 seeds, but
that's why I think it's a lot worse than 1 in 91, because you got to take the room layouts into consideration, the dungeon layouts.
Yeah. So it's it's pretty crazy. The thing that Redbird, the thing that was really going through my head was that after I found the pig and found the compass, I stopped tracking level 9.
Oh,
so
dude,
I walked by a bunch of staircases that I didn't mark, and if it would have been a magic staircase,
dude,
like I sort of knew where they were. I had it in my head, but that would have been the worst option, is to like not remember that this staircase existed right here, kind of thing. But
yeah, I hear you.
I have a tendency to do that.
Good news is Garion has found level 7, and if he takes the right path, it's going to be the fastest level 7 he's had in a long time. The bad news is it's not going to have what he's looking for.
Well, GG's well played, Random. I mean, this puts you at 2-0, and you're a force. We all know that. Anything you've learned from the first couple weeks of playing these flags? Anything you're doing differently now you didn't do before? Anything like that?
Not really. These flags are these flags are pretty straightforward. It's there's really only the thought that do you gamble on 9 or not? I had it in my I kind of thought that I might not gamble on 9. Having an important item that I need, like I say, an important item, an item that I needed, whether it be the bow or the silvers or ladder or whatever. But I felt like I hadn't even found levels 3, 5, and 8, and they could be power bracelet blocked for all I know. And so like I don't want to be chasing after those. Well, I mean they couldn't all be, but I guess they could have all been technically. Because we can get important items in 9. So I feel like my plan going into 9 there was, all right, I'm gonna go until I basically find 1 item, Ganon and Zelda. If I find all 3 of those and I still have a decent amount to explore, I'll probably bail and go somewhere else for the second item. But I might as well path out Ganon and Zelda. And I think that's a good strategy. You're gonna have to go through 9 anyway. It kind of does suck if like Ganon and Zelda are really like way across the way, and you kind of have to backtrack a little bit. But you're probably gonna run into at least 1 item on the way to them, so it's not like super wasted time in there if you have to gamble.
Yeah, I think to speak on that, we're seeing Garion do that here. Garion went into 9 needing both items, found one of them like you said. Found the wand is the other one, but now he knows the path. So at least going back into 9, it's going to be a lot quicker. And just having that knowledge plus the items out of there makes sense to go even when you don't have everything you need.
Yeah, that's a pretty big gamble to gamble on bow and silvers in 9. I don't know that I would do that unless I only had 2 other items out there, which I guess maybe he does, 6 and 7.
Yeah, it was 50-50. Well, to him, it was, 25% and 30, 50%, then 33%. So whatever that is, 16% for him to have both.
Right.
The odds were against him, but I think at that point, because he hadn't found the other 2 levels, he's like, time-wise, we'll play the odds here and just go.
And they're the biggest. They're some of the biggest levels, so why not?
Yeah, for sure.
So, but thank you for the commentaries and the restream, Captain, and Imasok in the background. I appreciate it. And yeah, we'll move forward and push for that 5-0. Hopefully, we'll see.
Yeah, good luck going forward, man.
Thank you.
All right, so back to Garion's side here. He is still looking for the item. He took a totally different path from what Garion, but he is going to find the item in just a short bit. He's going to just need to clear this room. He'll get his item level 7, and if he so chooses, he could pick up the Triforce and get all his health back.
Yeah, I think he's in the right spot for 6 as well. It's only a couple screens away from him, so he's going to grab this raft because he just doesn't know where 6 is, so it makes sense for him to grab it right now. But he's going to clear out, hopefully, the rest of the southwest, find 6, and he already has the ladder, so it should make the item pretty quick for him. So cleanup here should be pretty quick for Gary, and it's just kind of a wrong order of operations.
Oh, right. Absolutely right. There is the Triforce piece for Garion, so that'll get all of his health back. He's got 6 on the board, and now he just needs to find level 6 because he now knows that's where the bow is.
Yeah, he has complete knowledge of the sea now. He knows what's up. He doesn't need the book. I mean, you could have grabbed the book, with the ladder and that type of thing and gone and got hints or had it for 9, but he doesn't need it because he's already done the exploration in 9. He's already done the legwork there. So this is it. This is all he has left, and he's going to put up a very, very respectable time here too.
Yeah, it's going to be in the hour and some change range, which is, again, a very respectable time for these flags. Just not enough this time around.
Yeah, it's he played the numbers early on. I mean, he had the favorable levels. If you think about it, he had 1 through 5 and 8. Random had 6 and 7. And usually when you have that combination, he saw more items than Random did. Random just happened to go into 6, which had the bow early, and make the correct play after he got the ladder to go back into 6. And that's, like Random said, the difference in this race and what made him feel like he was ahead was that astute observation of going back into 6 when he didn't have much left to do, and that won him the seed.
Oh, most definitely. So, again, if I recall, the bow in level 6 was pretty deep, so he's going to be looking for a little while unless he somehow makes a good path.
Yeah, it's pretty deep. Like you said earlier, this 6 is not like 6 in shapes, right? Because there's not as many rooms in level 6. 6 in the vanilla game introduces you to Wizrobes for the first time, so they didn't make the level too large or trolly. It was kind of one of those, okay, let's see if you can get through this combat. So that's what makes 6 not as bad of a dig in this one as it is in shapes.
And it's still relatively large compared to some of the other levels, but yeah, like you said, it's not like level 8 when we do the randomizer.
Oh god, yeah, absolutely. Where it's maybe 40 rooms or something you're going through.
So yep, he just needs to find a few rooms here. Again, we believe that it was ladder blocked. I'm pretty sure it was. That's the reason why RandomEffekt couldn't get the. Tell you what, if that bow wasn't ladder blocked, who knows how fast that seed could have been for RandomEffekt.
Oh, absolutely, he was flying. If he could have grabbed bow from here, he would have put up probably a high 30s, mid 30s time.
He could have been the second sub 40, because if my memory is correct, I'd have to look at the numbers again. I believe so far, Redbird, you're the only sub 40 to this point. I'd have to look.
I think that's right, but seeds are all different, and
of course,
you can't compare across the lines.
It's like comparing apples to oranges.
Yeah, exactly. It's tough to do that.
Yeah.
It's funny when I run against splits and stuff like that when I'm just, practicing and stuff, and people are like, oh, you had a gold split. And I'm like, well, it's not really a gold split.
Randomizer, you really can't take that. You can't really take that for what it's worth, because you can have a 15-second Triforce. And hey, that's a gold split, but it really isn't, because it's just happened to be right there.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun to run against splits and stuff like that. But Rando, it doesn't really work out too well. It doesn't translate.
Nope, doesn't work.
Do you run against averages or splits, or how do you do it when you practice?
I don't run against any splits. I just have a timer, and that's it. Because I don't run this enough to keep track of averages or whatnot. I just do this for fun.
I keep splits, and I'll tell you why. Here's my split names. Don't forget Silver Arrow's Dummy. Just so I have all 5 of those before I walk into 9.
Right. I'm guessing you've tried to defeat Ganon a time or two, and you didn't have the Silver Arrows in hand.
Oh, I did it once last tournament, man.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, here is the river room that he couldn't get through before. So he goes right there and up, and that's going to be his item.
Right you are. So just has to clear a couple more rooms. He'll get his ladder very shortly. Or he'll get his bow rather shortly by utilizing that ladder. Right here.
Yep, this is it. And he'll go back and clean up 9, and his work there is going to pay off. And like I said, this is a really good time for him, Laz. This is it's going to be probably sub 110.
Yeah, I agree with that. So good pickup there. A very good efficient level 6 there for garionoldwolf. He is done. Just needs to go back to level 9, pick up that mess, and he's going to have a respectable time. Again, this would win plenty of races, but again, he was up against a buzzsaw in RandomEffekt tonight.
Yeah, Random did, a lot of things very, very well tonight, as he usually does. He's got to make, several mistakes for you to beat him. You're not going to beat him a lot of times just straight heads up. It's going to be something to where, you either get very, very fortunate to beat him, or Random does something and makes a call and just is wrong on that call. So, and that happens very few and far between.
I was just about to say, RandomEffekt makes very few wrong guesses. He usually has a knack for finding the right routes to where he needs to go to find his items, to find his princess, to find Ganon. He just usually has that knack. It is very rare for RandomEffekt to make a misstep like that. And again, he called right again tonight.
It's funny, when I was learning this game, and I was learning from Random and JSR and these guys that took me under their wing and said, here's how you play Randomizer. I thought a lot of it was luck, right? And then as they're teaching me things and kind of what they're doing when they're reading seeds and stuff like that, I'm like, man, there's a lot more skill in this than I thought there was. And they showed me exactly why.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So Garion just needs to make the paths back to both the beast or actually, in his case, he's going to go up against Zelda because he is playing as one of Ganon's minions, the Lionel Sprite. He's going to be rescuing Ganon instead.
Oh, but he didn't buy the bait, so he's got to find that. I just remembered that too.
Yep, he never bought the bait, and he may think that he's blocked, but in fact, there is a magical staircase to get also to the room he needs to be to rescue Ganon. And ladies and gentlemen, here's Zelda. So we're looking for 8 hits.
Exact same thing that Random was. Yeah, either 6 to 8 hits, depending on how he's rolled, and just wants to get him in a stun lock. He's going to sit here and play in the safety corner and knock him out.
Well, but he took a few Zelda hugs there. I guess Zelda has a thing for Lionels here, but that is bad news for Garion. He's going to have to try it again.
Yeah, he got a little too friendly there with Zelda, and Zelda's cool to look at and all, but you just don't want to hug the girl.
No, because every time you get Zelda hugged, you lose 1 heart with that red ring. It'd be 4 hearts if he had no ring at all.
Yeah, so he wants to use these arrows. He's got 251 here. He just wants to pop all them Zulls if he can, try to get some hearts going into this. Not sure if he still is holding on to a potion or not.
Now, I know he picked a potion as his final take in case, so he should still have a potion unless he spent it earlier.
Yeah, I can't recall.
Yeah, if he did spend it, it was probably during the interview with RandomEffekt, so he'll give it another go, and maybe he'll have a better chance this time. Now, the room that has nothing in there is not as easy as you think it is by doing the corner strats, because you don't have the turret statues to kind of lean on.
Yeah, that's right. He can definitely phase into the walls, Ganon can, because his hitbox is that top left-hand corner of his sprite. So the right half of Ganon does not exist. So if he gets on that right wall or the bottom, he can phase into that wall, which totally throws your mind off on where he is.
Exactly, and there's another Zelda hug. He's down to a heart, and he is not going to waste any more time. He's going to drink that Pepsi. That's the last of Garion's potion. Now let's see if he can finish off Zelda. Another hug! Holy smokes! This princess is quite friendly tonight.
Zelda's very aggressive here tonight, Laws.
Wow! But finally, down goes Zelda. We've got Royal Jelly, and he's got the Triforce of Wisdom. Now he just needs to backtrack to where Ganon is, and Garion will complete this seed in under 70 minutes.
That very frisky Zelda here tonight. I'm a little alarmed there.
I've not done too many races where you have to fight off against Zelda, but I've never seen Zelda be that aggressive before in all the races I've called.
You think he's going to dip out and go get this meat? He's looked at that thing 3 times now.
He may consider it, but again, if he finds the right staircase, it will take him to Ganon's room, so we'll see if Garion's able to figure this out.
And He may have a path here through bomb holes that Random didn't. He spent a lot longer in 9 than Random did, so he may have a lot of this mapped out that we're not sure of.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll just take a look at that in a moment. In fact, there's the path right there. No, not quite. Not quite. There's the free pass that he's going to spend. He can't bomb to the north. You can't bomb into Zelda's room, or in his case, Ganon's room.
Well, at least be on this side of that block. He knows that, okay, I don't need that anymore, that meat. The answer is somewhere inside of 9.
Right. He just needs to find the correct path. So he needs a little bit of work left to do for Garion, but again, he now knows he doesn't need to purchase that bait. He wants no part of those blue dart nuts.
No, I don't blame him. Not one bit.
It's still quite the fight with the White Sword, because they normally have 8 hit points, and if they're on the plus side, you're talking 5 hits with the White Sword.
A Lionel versus a Dark Nut in real life. Go, who wins?
Oh my goodness. You've got the beams, but the beams can't do anything to Dark Nuts. Dark Nuts win.
Just like that? What if they turn around?
Well, it's a moot point now because Garion just found the path to the pig. This race is over, and get your GGs out for garionoldwolf. He put up a very respectable time, but again, just not enough this time around.
Yeah, GG's to Garion. Well played. And again, sub 110 like we thought he was going to finish. 108 is very, very good. Like you said, beats a lot of people in the field. Just running up against RandomEffekt was just a little too much this time.
And one question, going back to that Lionel versus Darknut, why would a Darknut turn his back on a Lionel? Or why would a Darknut turn his back on a Lionel?
That's a great question. I got nothing for that.
Well, someday we have to see a fight like that. Somebody's got to make a short mini game where it's Lionel versus Darknut, and it's best of 3 or something like that.
Where's Olo? Olo can do that. We need only level 1 would definitely do it.
Yes, only level 1, and we do have a garionoldwolf here at the commentator's booth with us. GG, a very, very competitive race between you and RandomEffekt, but it just came down to one thing. It simply came down to routing. That's it.
Yeah, it looks like he already left the channel here, but GG to him as well.
Yeah, he wanted to pass on his GGs to you also. And like Laz said, with the routing, I mean, you had 1 through 5 and 8. You had the majority of this seed done. Unfortunately, the bow is just in 6. So the numbers worked against you this time, but you flew through that seed, man. Well played.
Thank you. I took the chance of digging Death Mountain, hoping that maybe I'd get lucky and I'd find the bow up there, and he wouldn't.
Yeah, in this situation with 3, 5, and 8, those were the 3 levels he didn't find because he never went to Death Mountain. He did 7 and 6 early, found that ladder block that you saw in 6, went back into 4, grabbed the ladder, and then went back to 6 for the bow. So those 2 levels against 3, 5, and 8 this time won out, and just that routing difference was the difference in this seed.
Yeah, I thought I still had a chance when I went into 9, and then he got done before I ever found silvers. So,
well, speaking of level 9, a funny thing, you and RandomEffekt arrived in level 9 virtually at the same time.
Okay, so the difference was he had bow already and I didn't.
Correct, yes.
So, I mean, with the way you approach this seed looks like, I mean, you're prioritizing items in the overworld. You want to have a good number of places seen, of levels seen before you jump into 9, but you're not afraid to go. Kind of what's going through your mind when you're making that decision? I'm either going at 5 Triforces or this number of certain items. What goes through Garion's mind before 9?
With the way the flag set is, with important items possibly being in 9, as soon as I have access, I want to jump into 9. It just, in this case, it felt like I was finding every single item except what I needed.
Yeah, and seeds sometimes roll that way, right? I mean, it's just kind of like that item look that sometimes you're maximizing your chances, but the maximization that you do just doesn't work out this time, this seed. But I like the approach. I mean, we saw the approach, we saw what you were doing, and everything made sense that you did. It was just kind of one of those seeds that didn't play out the way that you were hoping it did.
Yeah, I think the most disappointing thing was level 1 when I found that second item and it was the boomerang. I was like, really?
Yeah, and then the white sword item moments later turns out to be the magical boomerang.
Yeah, that was why I didn't even bother trying to pick it up, because I was like, I'm not going to need it.
Right, and funny fact, if you ever watched the VOD, RandomEffekt tried it at 4 hearts, and it wasn't enough. You needed 5 or 6.
That's even more disappointing when you try it and can't even pick it up.
Yeah. Oh, well, but so it goes sometimes, so it goes. The banana seed, none of you guys need the potassium anyways.
Yep. And I'm amazed looking at my map, overworld map, how basically right near start, I really didn't check anything, like vanilla start.
Well, I think that's why 4 was so late. Neither one of you guys did. The ladder was one of the last things, and level 4 was one of the last things we saw. And I think it's because of the way the any roads took you guys. It just the way you explored Hyrule was based on those, and you actually went up into Death Mountain before you went to Vanilla Star, which is rare to see.
Yeah, I went up there because I still hadn't found the Armos item. I was like, let me see if the Armos is up here. If it's not, I can screen scroll over to the last Armos.
Yeah, made complete sense. I mean, you were going with what the seed gave you, and the seed never said, hey, go down to Vanilla Start. So you just, and that's the way you got to play it. You have to play it, whatever the seed's telling you to do. That's what you do. I mean, you don't want to force a seed, and you didn't. And like I said, you saw more levels, you saw more items and that type of thing, just saw the wrong ones this time.
Yeah, when I found Red Ring and then found level 9 right next door, I'm like, let me just check Death Mountain. So if I get lucky and there's multiple levels up here, I might be able to jump into 9 pretty quick. And then, of course, each Triforce was blocked, so I had to go find another level.
Well, based on what you've seen the first couple weeks now and watched others and played yourself and done practices and stuff, are you tweaking your game? Are you tweaking decisions? Are you still fine-tuning? Or do you think you kind of have your path on how you're going to do the rest of these Swiss seeds?
I pretty much go by how the seed feels, but it also depends on who I'm playing. If I'm playing somebody that I believe is a lot better player than I am, I'm going to take a chance like I did today of Dig Death Mountain. When if I'm playing somebody equal skill or lower skill, I might go back to start and search around there.
I got you. So playing the opposition there, I kind of like it. A lot of times when I'm doing the same thing, I'm playing against somebody that I know is better skilled at rando than I am. I'm trying to play the contrarian and maybe dip 7 early and those types of things that some I think they won't do as well. So I like that play. That's good strategy, man.
Yep, so again, GG tonight to both you and RandomEffekt. So you go to 1-1, still very much alive to getting into that bracket stages of the tournament. But hey, I think there'll be bluer skies ahead of you, Garion. You're a very good Zelda Randomizer player, and we wish you the best of luck in next week's match.
Thank you.
All right, so any final thoughts or questions for garionoldwolf, Fredbird?
No, I think I'm good. Just very well played, and that time is very respectable, and whoever draws you in 1-1 is going to have their work cut out for him for sure.
All right, thank you very much for the interview, and again, best of luck to you in next week's race.
Thank you, and thank you guys for the commentary. Not sure who was tracking, might have been I'm a Sock, but thank you for the tracking, and thank you, Captain Green, for the restream as well.
Yep, they send their love right back to you, man.
All right, so that's going to about do it for us tonight.